Alright, so in this video I'm going to be talking about my university experiences because I know there's a lot of you guys watching that are considering going to university, whether it's this September or even next year. Either way, it's a big decision for anyone to make, so I'm going to be talking about my early stages of uni and just cover the things that I'm glad I did, as well as the things that I wish I did or would change if I could go back and do it again. Which, by the way, I would do it all over again in a heartbeat, mate. And also just to give you guys some tips and advice to take on board for when you go to university yourself. So yeah, stay tuned, mate. Some of you guys may have noticed that I'm currently in a different setting to where I'm usually at, and that's because I'm actually in a student accommodation for Oxford Brookes University. Mad thing, right? This place is actually a private student accommodation run by a company called University-Readiness, who are actually the biggest provider of student accommodations in the UK. And it's actually highly likely that if you do choose to move up for university in the UK, you'll be staying in one of these University student accommodations, which, by the way, are so damn fine. Like, honestly, being able to stay in an accommodation like this during uni is such a flex and blessing. Like, genuinely, I mean it. Trust me, I know. And this is also going to be one of the few things that I talk about during this video, so stay tuned, mate. During my final year at sixth form, I was always torn between whether or not I actually wanted to go to university at all. I wasn't sure if it was for me or even whether or not it was the right decision for me. To tell the truth, I didn't even know what I wanted to do as a career after full-time education. So yeah, I mean, I was quite lost, to be honest with you. But regardless of this, I always made sure to keep an open mind to any of the opportunities I had in front of me. And this meant being prepared to go to university in case I did decide to go in the end. So basically, despite not knowing whether or not I wanted to go to uni, I essentially just made sure I was prepared to go to uni just in case I did go to uni, if that makes sense. And personally, this is something I'd recommend to anyone else that's in a similar situation to me, because there's nothing better than being prepared, do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, and as well as being mentally prepared to go to university, I also did get involved in some summer courses which was relevant to the degree that I ended up studying. And this was actually one of the few things that did help contribute in me deciding to go to university. And again, this is something I'd recommend to anyone in a similar situation that don't really know what to do or don't know what course to study, you know, because it really did help. And this goes without saying, but don't worry if you don't get perfect grades or you don't play a fancy instrument, because universities aren't looking for robots that are perfect. They actually care more about the people with cool personalities and the people who can rise to a challenge and just love their subject, aka me, mate. No, I'm kidding. You know what I'm trying to say, just prepare yourself for all the opportunities around you and just don't overthink it. So obviously during sixth form or college, one of the main things that these guys prepare you for is the personal statement. I literally remember how intimidating those two words seemed to me when I first started hearing them. Like, to me it felt like a constant reminder of how real things were starting to get. Like,
damn, I'm gonna be leaving lower education in a matter of months, bro, and soon I'm gonna have to make big boy decisions.
But you know what? It's okay, because it's all part of the process, lads. Don't overthink it and just get on with it. But anyways, as I was saying, a personal statement is essentially a written document of yourself that the university that you're applying to will read and decide whether or not you're the right student for the course that you're applying to. It's also an opportunity to say why you want to study the course that you've chosen, as well as mentioning any skills, qualifications and experiences that you have that will make you a standout student. And let me tell you now, this stuff is cringy, mate. Honestly, it's probably going to be the most cringiest thing you'll ever read and produce. I can tell you that for free, mate. You basically have to sell yourself to the university and just gas yourself up, because you got to remember you're competing with hundreds of other applications and they'll also be cringing at their applications too, so don't worry, mate, you're not on your own. But I remember my personal statement being full of so many things that I would literally never say about me in real life. But equally, I also wasn't lying. Everything I said in my personal statement was the truth, but it's just the kind of thing that I would want to keep to myself, you know what I'm saying? And just so we're clear, nobody should be lying on their personal statements. I mean, that goes without saying, right? But anyways, writing a personal statement isn't easy. I remember not even knowing where to start with mine, and it's definitely something you can't just wing. Like, you need to give it the time and effort it requires. But obviously there are certain structures that you can follow, which I'm sure you'll be taught by your teachers. As well as this, you're also limited to the amount of words that you can use. So you're going to have to prioritize things such as experiences and achievements in a way that's suitable for the course and uni you're applying to. Also, ask for help from your peers. You're all in the same boat, so maybe get some inspiration off each other. Maybe even ask past students if you can read their personal statements, so you can get an idea of what a successful personal statement looks like. To be honest, that's what I did, and it worked for me. So yeah, man, make use of the resources around you and just ask for help when you need to. Another tip is to make sure you're in a suitable environment when you're writing your personal statement, like this one, for example. It's really important to have somewhere that is spacious and comfortable, not to mention somewhere that is private. Writing personal statements can be embarrassing and quite literally personal, to the extent where you don't want anyone else to read it. Like me, I wouldn't want anyone else to read my personal statement. I think I would literally die of embarrassment. I'm not even joking. I don't need anyone else cringing more than I'm cringing myself, you know what I mean? Alternatively, if you're not like me and you need to work with others, then you could always use common rooms like this, where you can always work together. But either way, working in a comfortable environment will highly likely help you produce a personal statement of your best ability. So get yourself somewhere where you're comfortable, mate. One of the key topics you'll need to cover during your UCAS submission is proving university readiness. And in this topic, you'll typically talk about all the relevant skills and interests that you possess, which will essentially show that you're ready for the university lifestyle. There are 7 key pieces of guidance that are worth writing about in your personal statement, and the first one is independence. This is a crucial skill for university because demonstrating your ability to work independently is something you're just going to have to get used to at uni. It's not the same as school where you can always rely on your teacher to be there for you. At uni, you have to work and hustle for yourself, especially if you want to achieve the best possible results during your time there. For me, I spent a lot of time outside of lectures and seminars doing a lot of independent study, whether that was running through lecture slides or doing extra reading. Either way, you need to show that you're capable of working independently because you'll quickly realize that you won't be able to rely on other people around you all the time. Number 2 is time management, and this one is just as crucial as the previous skill. During university, you'll be working on numerous projects and modules throughout the year. Therefore, you need to show that you're capable of managing your time accordingly, as you'll be managing multiple deadlines and tasks that are very close to each other. Each module is just as important as the other. Therefore, you need to give them all the time that they each deserve, and not just prioritize one because it's your favorite subject or because you find it the easiest. Everyone has their own way of dealing with time management, but essentially just get yourself into some kind of routine and just stay disciplined with it, and from then on you'll be sweet, mate. Number 3 is research skills, and this is something that you'll find extremely useful at university, and it's also going to be something that you'll quickly catch on to. Doing extra reading at university can prove to be extremely beneficial for you and your assignments. You'll also be doing a lot of referencing, which again is something you'll quickly catch on to at university, and one of the biggest assignments most of you will end up doing is a research project, and this is sometimes referred to as a dissertation. A lot of you will end up doing it, and this is where research skills proves to be extremely useful and beneficial for you. Number 4 is adaptability. The transition from school to uni is a huge step for anyone. Therefore, being able to show that you can adapt to any new environment is a massive advantage for you. For me personally, I thought moving out from home would be my biggest challenge to overcome, but I quickly managed to overcome this by putting myself in comfortable situations. For example, being around people who are in the same situation as me. The thought of moving out was quite a nervous feeling for myself, and luckily I wasn't the only one who felt like that. So being around people who felt the same way as me made me feel comfortable. So being able to adapt to new situations is a massive advantage for anyone, so definitely mention that if that's something that you're good at. Number 5 is social skills, and this one is huge, and it can literally make or break your university experience. University is more than just about academics. You're going into a completely new environment with completely new people. Therefore, getting to know people is going to be really important for you. As well as this, there's a high chance that you're probably going to be involved in a lot of group work during your university period, and there may even be times where you're nominated as group leader. So being social is going to be something that you're going to have to work on, even if it's something that you're not comfortable with. Number 6 is long-term goals, and this one is not only important for your application, but it's important for you in general. It's good to have long-term goals of where you plan to be after university and what career path you wish to take on. Here you can talk about how university fits into your broader life and career goals, as well as being goal-orientated and showing that your higher education will contribute as a meaningful step in your future. For me, I was unsure about the career path I wanted to take at this stage, but that didn't stop me from having any long-term goals, and by having this, it kept me motivated and helped me succeed in achieving the best possible results in my education. And finally, number 7 is resilience. During university, you're going to go through numerous setbacks. Trust me, nobody's perfect. Being able to show that you can bounce back from these moments and ultimately continue to be focused on your goals will show great character about yourself to the university. Universities tend to see a lot of people drop out within 6 months of starting. Like, trust me, I've seen it myself. A lot of people just realize it's not for them. And of course, this isn't ideal for anyone. So you need to show these universities that you're not going to be one of these dropouts, regardless of the number of setbacks you're going to get, and that you're going to persevere through all the hardship and you're going to hustle through it, mate. Because there will be times where it's hard, but if you can show to the university that you're capable of pushing through these moments, then happy days. So yeah, those are the 7 key pieces of guidance that I highly recommend covering during your application and in your personal statements. So I hope you found them useful, lads.